You enjoyed the break?
Not really. It sort of breaks up the momentum. There's been a lot of these breaks now, whether it be cup games or the internationals. It's always difficult to sort of gauge how the squad is because we give them a bit of time off and some players are away. But we know what's at stake now over the next couple of weeks before the split, and it's important that we try and pick up momentum, because we've had good momentum over the last few games, and take that into Saturday.
What do you want from the players between now and the end of the season? Because your goals can there, I mean, everything's in front of you, what you can achieve. What do you set target? Do you set?
It's a difficult one. I mean, I'm not looking too far ahead. We're trying to negotiate these next 3 games. I think they're really important. We'll play 3 of the bottom 4, and they're going to be very difficult because they're fighting for their lives, and the mindset can be a little bit different. Post-split will take care of itself, motivational-wise and incentive-wise, but these 3 games are very important to how we finish before the split comes. Very important.
Is it the time of year as well when you say teams are fighting for their lives, and you do get some strange results at this time of the year, don't you?
Yeah, that's what you want to avoid. We will probably go into all 3 games as favourites, so I think we've earned that right, with the form that we've shown since the turn of the year and our league position. But we know that, the teams ahead of us, there's 4-6 points. We've got a game in hand on Rangers. We can close that if we win the game, so it's important that we utilise that position as best we can. And the break's not ideal, but it's something that you have to negotiate as best you can.
The last game against St Johnstone, I spoke to you after the game, and it was another very interesting night in Perth with regards to refereeing decisions. Have you spoken to John Fleming? Because I think you were disappointed again about the lack of protection for your players that night.
Yeah, I was, yeah. I think that, the 5 bookings, so that's half the outfield team booked, and there was some very borderline tackles going on the players. Some were crass and some were lunges, and you could debate whether it's a red card or not, but certainly the culmination of tackles should have resulted in at least 1 player being sent off.
The relationship now between players and managers and referees, how has that differed from when you were a player?
I don't know really. I don't know. It's difficult. I need to speak to somebody like Martin O'Neill or Gordon Strachan as to how their experiences were with referees. But
what was your experience like as a player then with referees?
Fine. We just got on with it really in the main. Despite what, and contrary to what people think, I had a very good disciplinary record. Over 300 odd games. So there were some dubious decisions, debatable decisions in big games. But this season, we have pointed out, 4 or 5 game-changing decisions, and it's inconsistency that is bugging me more than anything else.
You were able to speak to referees in games, chat along to them. Is that gone from the game nowadays? Because there does seem to be a line now that there isn't much of a discussion between players.
I don't know. You need to ask the players that, or in particular the captains. But I think if you're a strong character on the pitch, the referee will respect that and will give you a conversation as such. But we've got so much to deal with that it's not a prolonged conversation. Put it that way.
The treatment that you feel your players have sometimes received this season, is that sometimes just a result of having better attacking players than the opposition? Possibly,
but it's the brutality is the wrong word. It's the coarseness of the tackling that has upset me. I don't mind tackles, I don't mind shoulder charges, I don't mind 50-50s, that type of stuff, but the lateness and the off the ball stuff and the amount of fouls given against my team week in, week out, it's almost up in the 20s most weeks, or the most weeks that I've come out and said, look, I need we need more protection. I think we're the most foul team in the league now. And, you know, the one on McGinn is just, you know, he's had two now, John. You know, the Cochrane one and the Alston one. And for me, they're unacceptable in the game. They're not tackles. They're just kicking a player off the ball to stop him from progressing. And John, being a strong-minded and strong build, probably pretty fortunate to go away with Scotland after the treatment he got on that Friday night.
What did you make of his performance for Scotland?
Excellent. Delighted for him. He's in brilliant form and great profile for the club. But for him as an individual, delighted.
Is it a bit bittersweet when he plays so well on such a stage, given his contract status, and he's out of contract at the end of next season, he's not signed a new one?
It's not bittersweet. It's the reality of where we are, and we understand that. And while he's here, you know, we just want to get the best out of him and for him to enjoy and be happy here. And that's culminated in the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons he's been here, and he's been outstanding, absolutely outstanding, and he's getting better.
Do you think if he hasn't signed a new contract by the summer, it would be prudent of the club to try and sell him?
I think it would be more realistic than anything else to, you know, see what offers do come in. But first of all, you have to receive an offer first, and then the club have to decide whether it's enough. We've had an offer for him before. It was nowhere near the club's valuation, and if he stays another year, then I'll be absolutely delighted, obviously. But there's a business side of this as well too.
How's Dylan, and have you tried to pick him up from what must have been a huge disappointment for him?
He's fine, he's over it. I mean, it's over a week ago now, and just the timing of it was really disappointing for him, but he's still very much in the manager's thoughts, and you know, hopefully he can just keep replicating the form he's shown all season and be part of the trip that goes to South America. And as regards Saturday, a little bit ginger on it at the minute, so we'll assess how he is tomorrow.
Any movement on contract for Dylan then? Is it still up in the air? Or?
Still up in the air. And again, that's his right, you know, and his agent's right. And talks they're not ongoing at the minute. I wouldn't say it's reached a standoff either, but it's still very, very open to debate whether he's going to be here or not next season.
You've known him a long time, Neil. Does he come to you for advice? Yeah.
Well, I'm his manager.
Yeah.
I'll give him advice whether he likes it or not.
And you're advising him, of course, to stay here?
Yes.
Any other, sorry.
When you go.
Any other team news just for the weekend apart from Dylan?
Whittaker, you know, he's fully fit now. He's played a development game in the break. Bartley had a bit of a virus, but he's trained today. Barker, Gray, and Slivka are all back out on the grass now, so we're hoping to have them back, you know, maybe before the Ross County game, or if not, then they should be fit for the split games as well. And obviously Offier suspended and John suspended, so that's a blow. But we should have more than enough to compensate that.
Neil, just one other thing. There's a group of Liverpool fans coming up on Saturday to Celtic Park to have a look at the safe standing area, and some of the fans that are coming up from Merseyside were survivors of Hillsborough. Does safe standing, does that help an atmosphere inside the ground in your eyes?
Well, it's been so long since I've seen you know, a standing section at a football ground. It's the opinion of the supporters. You know, I'm not the ones who are either sat or stood in the stand. Some fans love it, you know, and they love going like the old-fashioned men, standing over a barrier and singing away or shouting away. But just over the last 15-20 years, I think it's been a lot safer in stadiums due to it being all-seater.
What were your memories of going along as a kid to football and standing on the terraces? There was a lot more people there, I would imagine, than there would be nowadays. And I think safe standing areas now are controlled by the numbers that can actually get into these areas. Yeah,
I mean, listen, when I first started watching football, it was in the 80s, and sometimes it could be a pretty unhealthy environment. So I'm all for the all-seater stadiums. You know, I think they're a lot more safer and a lot more comfortable as well. But it's not me who's paying money to watch the games, so the standing section at Celtic Park has seemed to have been a great success, you know, and obviously, you know, other clubs are looking at that as an experimental way of maybe introducing it again to their clubs. Me personally, most people stand up at games anyway, whether the seats are there or not, but I like to sit and, I suppose it's an age thing there, you know, sit and watch a game.
You'll be sitting on Saturday, won't you?
I will. Yes, I will, Brian, thanks for that.
About that.
Yeah.
How much of an opportunity do you have going into these next 3 games to put quite a lot of pressure on Aberdeen and Rangers for that battle for second place? Yeah, with tough games, but you must think you've got quite a good opportunity here.
Listen, it's an opportunity, you know, and they're 2 very good teams, and you've got Kilmarnock here playing very well, so we have to be mindful of that as well. We can only concentrate on what we do, and like I say, you know, regardless of who the opposition is at this stage of the season, everyone's playing for something, so the game's going to be very competitive, and we're not taking anything for granted. My only concern is we've had a 2-week break. You know, we've been playing well, and you know, we've had sporadic training sessions because of the numbers. That sometimes can be very frustrating as a manager, but you know, more or less back into the real stuff today and do a little bit more work tomorrow, and hopefully be ready and try and pick up where we left off. But we can, you're right, we can put pressure on the other teams, and the only way we can do that is by winning the games.
Well, man.
Okay.